Hi there. In this tutorial, I'm going to walk you through customizing your Storemapper. Customization is where Storemapper really shines above the competition. Storemapper has a myriad of built-in settings and options so you can get it looking just the way you like it. And remember, you can always customize almost every aspect of Storemapper using CSS and JavaScript on your own website if you have a developer or designer who can do it for you. Storemapper is one of the most flexible store locators on the market, and we're going to walk through all the features here. This tutorial assumes you've already installed Storemapper on your website and you've uploaded your stores. If you haven't done those steps, there's another tutorial in the show notes. So here I have a demo Storemapper. In my Storemapper account, I'm going to head to Settings. The Settings page has everything you need to customize Storemapper, and you can select from the various different sections. Here you can change your account info, update your email and password. You can update your billing information. This third tab is where most of the settings that you'll be using are located. Let's start from the top. First, you can customize the label text and the button text. This is simply the text that's located here. It says enter your zip code or full address, and the actual text on the button. So you may want to change search to find us, and you may want to say use a postcode or use an exact address if zip codes and postcodes aren't relevant for where your stores are located. Change to find us, and click Update Account. And you can see the new text. Back in the settings, Storemapper has two default layouts, horizontal and vertical. These represent the orientation between the map and the column that shows the search results. The default is horizontal, with left and right. Additionally, you can set a maximum width of the entire Storemapper, so this is the whole width of both the left and right columns, to fit the exact width of your site. Let's see what Storemapper looks like with a vertical layout. In a vertical layout, the map takes up the full width of Storemapper at the top, and the locations are shown along the bottom. Again, you can customize this with CSS to make it look like it matches the rest of your site. There are several other options here. First, you can opt to use kilometers instead of miles for distance. You can also inject CSS classes into the search button. So this default search button isn't very nice. So let's use the BTN and BTN primary classes, which are common in the Twitter Bootstrap UI layout here. And let's pretty up this button. Now you can see the button looks much prettier, and if you inspect it, you can see that the button has the class BTN and BTN-primary. Another thing to customize is the no results message. This is the message that's displayed when a customer enters a search and no results are found within the search area. Here I have some arbitrary message, and you can also inject HTML. So if you want to put a link to a contact form, you can put a link to another page. You can even put a link to a coupon page that gives them a coupon for free shipping if it turns out they don't have any local stores near them. You can also inject an image here by using an image tag. Any HTML is valid. Another option is to limit the number of results returned per search. The default is 25. You can limit that number to smaller or make it infinite. This is useful for merchants who are worried their competitors will steal their distribution list by using their Storemapper to find every single store they're located in. You can limit this down to as small as 2 results per search, depending on your level of concern. A very common request is to set the start location and start zoom. This affects how the map initially loads before the search is executed. So let's say you want to show the entire United States. Pick a location in the middle and zoom out. Now you can see it's centered around the middle of the US. It's zoomed out. We chose a zoom out of 4, but we might actually want to zoom out even one further, down to 3. If you prefer, you can zoom in on your headquarters or anywhere in the world. This section here determines whether or not you want to allow the users to use this search radius selector, or you want to set it to a default standard search radius. A couple of common reasons why you may want to use this. If you have lots of locations and you want the users to be able to make a very fine-grained search for things only near them, you may want to give them that option. If your locations are very far apart, you may want to turn this off and set a very large default search radius, for example 250 miles. The only way to set this default search radius is to turn this off. If you turn it on, whatever the user selects will override whatever you have here. The last option in this section is whether or not you want to use Storemapper's default mobile view and responsive design. We highly recommend that you leave this on. The mobile design enables this switchable mode where you can view results and bring back in the map. It takes advantage of the smaller viewport of a mobile phone. If you turn off the responsive design, you won't see this, so you'll probably want to override it with your own custom mobile styles. The next section is categories and custom fields. These are covered in a separate tutorial. The link is in the show notes. The last section is advanced settings and custom styles. These options here allow you to take full advantage of the custom styles that are a part of the Google Maps API. If you would like to have a custom marker image, for example changing the image on the map pin to a custom, you can provide a link to the image here. You can additionally set the map hue, saturation, lightness, and gamma. These are all defined in this link here to the Google Styled Maps API. You can see how you can change the coloring of the map itself using those options. This is for advanced developers only, but you can see it here executed to full effect on the rains.dk site. Lastly, you have a big section here to add your own custom styles. There are two ways that you can make changes to Storemapper. Let's say you want to change the color, the text, the font, or anything that you can change with CSS. You can just write your own CSS. So if you'd like to change the overall font, just set it like this. Now this CSS can be added here and injected dynamically onto the page, or you can actually add it to your own style.css file hosted on your CMS. Either one works. This is purely for your preference. As a last note, you can really go nuts customizing Storemapper. Another great example is Tanner Goods, who decided they wanted this search bar at the top and just the full width map for a holistic user experience. All of this is at your disposal, and your designers and developers can go crazy as they like. Thank you for watching this tutorial, and as always, if you have any questions, email help@storemapper.co for the concierge service and we'll help you out.